Tina slowly. We be working all day long to push us money. We ain't playing no games. Sabatavi, Gani.
Good day, guys. We are still busy with trig values represented by letters. We said whenever you are dealing with trig values represented by letters, you must think of your Pythagoras theorem, your SOHCAHTOA, your reduction, your special angles. So we're gonna attempt question 1, which is given that sine 40 is equals to m. Express the following in terms of m without the use of a calculator. Remember, good people, we are given here that sine 40 is equals to m. So we are going to write, I'm going to write here, sine 40 degrees is equals to m. So we know that here we have 1. So by applying the trig definitions, so I'm going to say SOHCAHTOA. So we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, but I need to present this using a diagram, with the aid of a diagram. So I'm going to draw my diagram here. This diagram is going to be on which quadrant? First quadrant. So I have this. So this is 90, then this is 40. Remember, the sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So it's going to be 180 minus 90 minus 40, then we get 50. So if we can call this side, guys, for argument's sake, that this is A and this is B, then this is C. So we can see that if 40 degrees, since 40 is our reference angle, the opposite side of 40 degrees is AC. So I'm going to put M here. Then your hypotenuse is always the side that is opposite to 90 degrees. In this case, it's going to be A. It's going to be BA. So you need to find BC using Pythagoras theorem. Hence, I was saying you must remember your Pythagoras theorem when you are dealing with trig values represented by letters. So I'm going to calculate BC using Pythagoras. So I'm going to say r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared. So my r in this case is going to be 1. My x we don't know here, which is BC, but my y is your opposite side, which is m. So 1 squared is going to get 1. So you have x squared plus m squared. Then you're going to transpose this m to this side. You're going to have 1. Then remember, m squared is going to change the sign. It's going to be minus m squared. Then you have x squared. Then it's simple now, guys. You can introduce square root both sides. So therefore, x is going to be square root of 1 minus m squared. It doesn't matter, guys. You cannot. We will not put plus or minus because this side, guys, is positive. X is positive on this side, so I'm going to have here square root 1 minus m squared. So now we can be able to answer the question that is given. We are given cos 310 all over sine 150 plus 4 sine 150 times tan 135. You have to remember when you are working with this, because it's a sort of simplification, you must remember your reduction. So if you watch my first video where we are dealing with simplification, you will be able to simplify this. So then you need to ask yourself, if we are working with this cos 310, where do we find 310? We find 310 on which quadrant? A fourth quadrant. So I'm going to say cos 360 minus. So in order for me to get 310, guys, I have to subtract 50 here. So then over sine, remember we have 150. Where do we find 150? Second quadrant. So I'm going to have 180 minus, then you have to subtract your special angle, because 180 minus 150 you get 30. So I'm going to subtract 30 plus the same thing here. We have sine 150, so I'm going to say 180 minus 30 again. And then we have a tan 35, 135. So it's going to be 180 because we find 135 on which quadrant? Second quadrant. So it's going to be 135 minus 45 degrees. Understand? So we said that 360 minus, we find 360 minus on which quadrant? Fourth quadrant, and the cos is positive, so it's going to be positive cos 50 degrees. So 180 minus, we find 180 minus on which quadrant? A second quadrant, and the sign is positive, so it's going to be positive sine 30. Then we find again sine on which quadrant? Fourth quadrant, second quadrant, and the sign is positive, so it's going to be positive 4 sine 30. But now we have tan 180 minus. So tan is positive on which quadrant? First and the third. So 180 minus, we find 180 minus on second quadrant, and the tan is negative. So it's going to be negative tan 45. Understand? So this cos 50, I'm going to leave cos 50 because we have a cos 50 in our on our diagram. So I'm going to say cos 50. So we know that by using your special angles, sine 30, it's 1 over 2. 1 over 2 plus 4 into 1 over 2 again times negative, then tan 45. 45 is a special angle which will give us, tan 45 will give us 1. Then will become negative 1. So guys, we have 1 here. So if I say 1 divided by half, I'm going to get 2, then times by cos 50, then positive times a negative, it's a negative. Understand? So then we said 4 times half is 2 times 1, which is 2. So in this case, guys, I'm having 2 cos 50 minus 2, but we can get 50 there because we have 50. Cos, guys, is an adjacent over hypotenuse. So your adjacent now, if your 50 now is your reference angle, your adjacent becomes AC. So it's going to be m over 1. So I'm going to have 2 m over 1 minus 2. So you can see that the final answer is going to be, because m divided by 1 is m times 2, it's going to be 2m minus 2. So that's your final answer for the first question. So let's take the next one. So the next one, guys, we have this. If cos 62 is equal to t, express the following: cos 16 over cos 16 plus sine 16 over sine 14 in terms of t. Guys, if you watch my first video when we were dealing with simplification, the numerical expressions, you will be able to tackle this question because same approach, guys. So here, what we are going to do, I'm going to take this one and apply my diagrams again. So I have cos 62 is equal to t, then I have 1 here. So I'm going to sketch my diagram. I'm going to represent this on first quadrant again. So we have 90, then I have 62. Then you are going to say 180 minus 90 minus 62. Then so you are going to get 28 here. So because sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if I call this one again as your A, this is your B, this is your C. Cos, guys, is an adjacent over hypotenuse. So your hypotenuse is always the side that is opposite to 90 degrees. So in this case, it's going to be AB. So I'm going to have 1 here. Your adjacent, remember we're using 62 as your reference angle. So your adjacent is this side, BC. I'm going to have T here. So we have to work AC using Pythagoras again. So I'm going to have R squared is equal to X squared plus Y squared. So your R is It's 1 again. Then your x now we know, which is t. Then we don't know y. So it's going to be 1 equals to t squared plus y squared. Then you transpose this one, then you introduce the square root both sides. So therefore your y is going to be square root of 1 minus a t squared. So here we have square root of 1 minus a t squared. So now we can answer the question. So what do we have? What do we want here, guys? We have to express cos 16 over cos 14 plus sine 16 degrees over sine 14 in terms of t. So I'm going to make one division, then I'm going to multiply the denominators. So I'm going to have sine 14 cos 14, then I'm going to say sine 14 times cos 16. So it's going to be sine 14 cos 16. Then we're going to keep this sign. So I'm going to say sine 16 times cos 14 is going to be cos 14 sine 16. Guys, what do you notice on the numerator? We notice that this angle is the same with this one, and this one is the same with this one. If I can say this is sine cos, cosine. So this is the compound angle of what? Of sine. So I'm going to consider this one as A and a B, A and a B. So guys, it is expanded now. I need to simplify. I need to reduce it. So if I reduce it, it's going to be sine. A is going to be 14, guys. Remember, sine keeps the sign. So it's going to be plus 16 over. Remember, this angle, guys, is the same with this angle. If you remember our first video, we said that half of sine 2x is the same as sine x cos x. You can change this one to become a half of a double angle. So, but let's keep it as it is. Sine 14 cos 14, and see what we have here. Then I have sine. Then if I say 14 plus 16, so 14 plus 16, what we get is 30. Alright, 30, guys, is the special angle now. Now we have 14. We don't have 14 there, but I have to change this one to become half, guys. Sine 2 times 14. If you can expand this and multiply by half, you are still going to get sine 14 cos 14. Right, now we have 1 here. If I say 1 divided by half, is going to be 2 sine 30. So it's going to be 2 sine 30 over sine, then 2 times 14, 28, guys. So it's 2, then remember sine 30 is a special angle. Sine 30 is going to be half over sine 28. So 2 times half is going to be 1 over sine 28. Then you have, now there's no way that we can move now. You have to go straight to your diagram. Oh, we have 28 here. So now we can relate. Sine is an opposite over hypotenuse. So this is become your opposite. This is your hypotenuse. So we are going to have 1 divided. Our opposite for sine 28 is t over 1. So the final answer, guys, is 1 multiplied by 1 over t, because we're going to apply the reciprocal here. So which is 1 over t. So that's your final answer for this question. Right. So let's see the next one. Let's see what we have. We are given this question. So if cos 10 equals to k, express the following in terms of k. We have cos 70 plus sine 70 times tan 10, and 1 over tan 5 minus tan 5. So I'm going to draw my diagram here again. I want you to see the importance of of Pythagoras when you're working with trig values represented by letters. So I'm going to sketch my diagram again on which quadrant? First quadrant. So I have 9 here, I have 10 here, then I have I want this angle. I'm going to say 180 minus 90 minus 10. Then we get here 80. Remember, cos, guys, we have 1 here. Cos is an adjacent over hypotenuse. So your hypotenuse is this side. Your adjacent is going to be this side. Then you work out this one by using Pythagoras. So guys, this side by inspection is going to be 1 squared minus k squared, which is 1 minus k squared. You can work it out by using Pythagoras. You have to present everything, guys. So I have number 1, I have cos 70 plus sine 70 times tan 10. So guys, we don't have 70 here, so I'm going to keep my cos 70 and the sine 70 and change tan, guys. Remember your quotient identity. So tan is equal to sine over cos, so it's going to be sine 10 cos 10. Understand? Okay, so now I have cos 70, so we have 1 here. So if I multiply this, it's going to be plus sine 70 sine 10 degrees over cos 10. Remember, guys, if you have 1 plus 2 over 3. So what we need to do here, if I say 1 times 3 over 3 plus 2 over 3, I want to make the denominator to be the same. So this is the same as 3 over 3 plus 2 over 3. So LCD, now the denominator is the same, so we take one denominator and add the numerators, which is 5. So here, guys, we have 1 here, but what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say cos times 1, which is cos 10. So then I'm saying this times this, so you have now cos 70 cos 10 plus this one, because 1 times this is going to be sine 70 again sine 10. Understand? So what you notice on the numerator, I noticed that we have a compound angle of cos. So this is A, this is B, this is A, this is B. So guys, compound angle of cos, start by saying cos cos, whereas on the previous example it was saying sine cos. So now it's cos cos, so this is the compound angle of cos. So I'm going to say cos. Remember, cos, guys, changes the sign. So I'm going to have 70 minus 10 over cos 10. Are we together? So I'm going to say cos 70 minus 10 is 60 degrees. Then we have cos 10. So cos 60, guys, is a half. So I'm going to have 1 over 2. Then I'm going to put divide. So divide by cos 10 degrees. So now, guys, this is 1 over 2. It's easy now. Cos 10, we can find cos 10 using the diagram. But fortunately, cos 10 was already given to be k. So I have k here. But I cannot have 2 division here. We know that we have divided by 1. And then I need to do a reciprocal here. This division will change to become multiplication. So here the numerator is going to change to be a denominator, and the denominator is going to change to be a numerator. So it's going to be 1 over k. So your final answer, good people, is going to be 1 over 2k. So this is your final answer. So we have this question, the last question. I'm not going to finish it, guys. So now we have this question again. So we need to do Pythagoras again, and with this we can solve this question with the aid of a diagram again. So I have sine 8 equals to k. Then you have 1 here. So we know that sine is an opposite over hypotenuse. So if I draw the diagram here, I'm going to have something like this. So this is 90, So this is 8. Then I'm going to say 180 minus 90 minus 8 to get all the angles here. So it's going to be 82. Sine, guys, is an opposite over hypotenuse. So this is going to be k and a 1. So you can solve this side by using Pythagoras. So by expression, it's going to be 1 minus k squared. So if we answer number 1, they want 172. Then you need to ask yourself, where do you find 172? We find 172 on which quadrant? A second quadrant. So it's going to be sine 180 degrees minus, if I subtract 8, I will still get 172. So this is, so 180 minus is on second quadrant and the sign is positive, so it's going to be positive sine 8. So fortunately, guys, sine 8 was given to be equals to k. So now I can say this is k. So therefore sine 172 is equals to k. Then we work out cos 82. So cos 82, guys, we do have 82 here. So now your reference angle now it is 82 now. So you have to consider this angle. So this is 82. So this side becomes your opposite. So this side becomes your adjacent if we're using 82 as your reference angle. And the cos, guys, cos is an adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's going to be k over 1. So which is the same as k. So if I look for cos 8, now you are using this angle as your reference angle. Now your cos is an adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's going to be 1 minus a k squared over 1, which is the same as 1 minus a k squared. So guys, I will not finish this one. Number 4, you're going to do number 4 on your own. This is the double angle. You will change this one to be 2 times 8 and you expand your double angle. You can choose a cos squared minus sine squared, or 2 cos squared minus 1, or 1 minus sine squared. You have to get the same answer. So thank you for watching. If you didn't subscribe, don't forget to subscribe, like the page, share the link, tell your friends about this channel so that they can have what you are getting here. So thank you very much.